Hey everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick video about two products that Nvidia launched this year. In fact, they are the first products Nvidia ever manufactured themselves, the Nvidia Shield as well as the Tegra Note 7. So we're looking at Tegra 4 powered devices, originally $300 for the Shield, which has now been reduced to $249.99, and includes the carry case, which retailed for $39.99. So a considerable value in my opinion. Inside here we've got at least what is marketed as a portable gaming console of the Android variety and PC now because of all of the software updates. You've got a console quality gaming controller here with a 5-inch 720p display. In addition to that, you've got, as I mentioned, a Tegra 4 quad-core processor, active cooling, micro HDMI out, micro USB for charging, a micro SD card slot for storage expansion, headphone jack, Bluetooth, dual Wi-Fi, dual band Wi-Fi capability on this device. It's really a powerhouse at its price point. In fact, at its original $350 price point, it was even a powerhouse. The question was adoption. Were people going to catch on to this? Did they want to be able to play their PC games on a device like this, or even stream their games, which is the whole pitch of the Shield? And now with its new console mode, it has taken on a whole new form of being able to really allow you to take your PC gaming to any screen in the house. As long as you, of course, have the proper network, video card, computer requirements. So a very cool product I've already reviewed thoroughly and enjoy. And I think if you own a gaming system, it's kind of a must-have at this point. It's a no-brainer. Nvidia knows it. That's why it was bundled with graphics cards for the last month. That promotion's over now, including free games. But in my opinion, a better deal now to actually get it at a lower price. Forget about having to bundle it with a graphics card. That's something they should have done out of the gate. But my point here is that Nvidia did a really nice job on this. Quality control, at least for me, seemed to be very strong. It's well built. Yes, it's all plastic. Battery life, incredible. This is one of the longest lasting Android devices that I've ever seen. And that's to do with having two batteries in each handle that are gigantic, and that's why you get good battery life with a device like this. Also only a 720p screen, and I could go over a lot of things I'd like to see in the next generation of this, but the novelty being more so than just using it as an Android gaming console, the fact that you really can use this to play any PC game on screen, or using a Bluetooth controller, use this as a console to stream anything from your PC, as I mentioned before. So another good thing is that this is a relatively vanilla stock Android experience, and I can't stress enough that you could argue Nvidia has been more aggressive than Google itself on updating this device. So it's as Nexus as a non-Nexus device could possibly be. Then we come over to something like the Tegra Note 7, also powered by a Tegra 4 quad-core processor, but with only a gig of RAM to complement it, also 16 gigs of internal storage, does not have the dual-band Wi-Fi, but it does have Bluetooth, much like the Shield on the left. In terms of the screen resolution, the same resolution, but here we're looking at a 7-inch display, and that'll leave a lot of people disappointed looking for more, even at the very affordable $200 price point that this tablet comes in at. The processor only being underclocked 100 hertz less than what we get in the gaming beast that the Shield represents. So really, you do still have a gaming beast here on the right in this tablet. EVGA is the manufacturer of this device, which certainly makes me wonder, did they also manufacture the Shield? Because they are a close partner of Nvidia, it makes financial sense. And after all, Nvidia apparently on a spree this year with making their own hardware, because this is totally out of the realm, a first for them. And I think this was brought on by a variety of different things, but more importantly, it's a product of Google going with a different processor for their Nexus 7, and Nvidia really deciding not only were they going to take that as an opportunity to make a new tablet, but also to try to change the way we look at the gaming industry. So a lot of things going on, and this is all because of really what I'm pointing to is that Tegra 4, one of the best mobile processors, but also best gaming mobile processors. So you've got basically all of the gaming performance of the Shield right here in this $200 package. So a full $150 less. Yes, 1 gig of RAM less. You're not going to have the same Wi-Fi performance, but you do get a front-facing VGA camera, which is pretty much awful, but serviceable. You do get front-facing stereo speakers with an actual subwoofer integrated, first for me on a tablet, which is impressive. Also a optional magnetic cover, which I should be getting in shortly to share with all of you. Plastic build, not best in class, but remember, $200 buys you this, in my opinion, at least it's got to be at this point, the most powerful sub 10-inch tablet on the market. Had it had 2 gigs of RAM and a 1080p screen, the Nexus would be in the ground, essentially. 5 megapixel camera on the back with some great photo software that they've included. Micro SD card slot for storage expansion, which was actually, on the top of the device. It's right there next to the volume rocker. And then you also have, which is where I was going before, on the left side here, you've got your power button, your headphone jack, micro HDMI, and micro USB for charging and file transfer. So a very robust tablet, something you can't get in a Nexus, very stock Android experience. But then to top it all off, you've got the Stylus, which is another value-added thing that really defines and creates the character of the entire Nvidia product and their brand. Direct Stylus is the technology employed, basically leveraging the Tegra 4 to do all of your writing. So you've got the Tegra Draw app as well as the Write app. It's not true pressure sensitivity, but it can recognize the actual difference in brush stroke, allowing you to get actual different textures in your drawing. The rear tip of the Stylus can act as an eraser. It can also be used to get even thicker strokes. But the whole point is that the device works exceptionally well, whether you're web browsing, using it for media consumption, as I mentioned, great speakers, video output. The point here is that the recurring theme from Nvidia seems to be they are ready to enter the consumer electronics market, even if it's just in the form of these 2 products to start with. And in my opinion, they're giving us some very strong offerings. Very affordable, both being budget in my mind. And here, an alternative to the Nexus that if you really don't care about the higher res screen or NFC, then this is clearly the superior device. It has a better processor, yes, 1 gig less of RAM. It doesn't have dual band Wi-Fi. I wish that it did. That's probably the only thing that I really wish was on here. Yes, I would have liked a higher resolution display, but dual band Wi-Fi would have been nice, especially considering the Tegra 4 chipset, because really this could just as easily become a console or go into console mode, just like the Shield. So I'm not sure. I think that's really just Nvidia trying to make sure that your Tegra Note doesn't become a Shield replacement, but it's going to get you really, really close. So for gamers out there who want to hook up a wired controller because you do have a USB port, use an on-the-go cable, you're good to go. And in terms of media consumption, as I said before, very good. E-reader, yeah, it doesn't have that higher res display, but between the Stylus and the fact that this is a very good display nonetheless, which you can argue at its 7-inch class is still way more than enough resolution. In my opinion, really nothing to dislike about this product. I've heard some complaints about build quality. Look, it's plastic. It's $200. You're getting basically a tablet that will outperform a $500 device, arguably the latest iPad. And that's not a stretch. That's a literal comparison, because after all, the iPad is still relatively weak when it comes to specifications. So a lot to like here. Nvidia really outdoing themselves, in my opinion, this year. A lot of analysts, as well as, when I say analysts, I mean industry, as well as actual review sites, really giving Nvidia quite a bit of flack, I think, on both of these products and estimating or misestimating what they could actually get done with them. In my opinion, these are 2 devices that if a company was ever going to just start to enter the business of hardware, especially a processor, a semiconductor company like Nvidia, in my opinion, the best GPU manufacturer out there, they are doing just about everything right. So kudos to Nvidia, big fan, keep it up. I have been since your inception, and I just continue to like not only what they make, but the level of support that they continue to provide. And as you all know, with Android-driven devices, tablets, computers, when the support stops, your device becomes essentially a brick to some extent. Nvidia making it clear not only will these not become bricks, but they're going to just continue to expand on the value, capability, flexibility, and overall character, and basically the distinguishable characteristics that make both of these products incredibly unique among a sea of clones that generally all attempt to do the same thing at higher prices. Of course, nothing really like the Shield, but when it comes to tablets, the Tegra Note 7 does sort of break all of the rules. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.